Have you ever looked at the woman you love and suddenly felt like something was off? Like her eyes were still on you, but her heart wasn't? You can't quite explain it, but deep down, something tells you she's hiding something. And the worst part? You don't know whether to confront her or ignore that sinking feeling. Gentlemen, this isn't just paranoia. This is your instincts catching what your eyes are missing. And today, we're going to uncover it all. If you've ever been cheated on, suspected betrayal, or simply want to protect your heart and your future, you need to watch this entire video. What you're about to learn could change your love life forever. This is the psychology women can't hide. We're exposing 10 signs of female cheating, and we'll back it up with the wisdom of none other than Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor who understood deception, human behavior, and inner peace better than anyone. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs the truth. Because one right insight can save you years of heartbreak. There once was a man named Aiden, strong, successful, and loyal to the bone. He met Jasmine, beautiful, charming, and full of laughter. Their relationship started like a dream. Late-night conversations, morning coffees, weekends wrapped in each other's arms. But about a year in, things began to change. She became distant. Her phone never left her side. She picked more fights. And Aiden? He blamed himself. He thought maybe he wasn't giving her enough time. Maybe he wasn't saying the right things. Maybe he was just imagining it, but he wasn't. Jasmine was cheating. And by the time he found out, it had already broken something in him. Now Aiden tells his story to warn other men, because he missed the signs. He ignored the behaviors, and he suffered because of it. So today, you don't have to. Let's dive into the 10 psychological signs of female cheating, and for each one, we'll bring in the timeless insight of Marcus Aurelius to help you respond with strength, not desperation. 1. Sudden emotional distance. Do you remember the first time you fell in love? Not just the butterflies, not just the late-night texts, but that deep, warm feeling that she was yours and you were hers. The way she looked into your eyes like you were the only man on earth. How her hand fit into yours like the universe designed it that way. Now let me ask you this. Do you remember the first time that feeling shifted? Not in a loud, dramatic way. No shouting. No breakup. Just a quiet emptiness like a cold wind that slowly replaces the warmth. It's like one morning she's lying beside you, but she's not really with you anymore. That's what happened to Daniel. Daniel was like any of us. He fell hard for a woman who made his world feel complete. Her name was Leah. Smart, magnetic, beautiful in a way that wasn't just skin deep. When they were together, it felt like time stopped. You know what I mean? That kind of love that makes you believe in forever? But then it changed. She stopped texting first. She stopped saying I love you at night unless he said it first. She started pulling her hand away just a little quicker than before. Her smile was still there, but her eyes, they were looking through him. Daniel tried to ignore it. He told himself, she's just stressed. It's just a phase. She still loves me. But let me tell you something. Sudden emotional distance is never just a phase. It's a symptom. And like a wise doctor, you better not ignore the symptoms, because by the time the disease shows itself fully, it's already taken root. And here's what hurts the most. Daniel remembered the time she cried in his arms when her father passed away. He remembered the little notes she used to leave in his jacket. He remembered the way she'd randomly call just to say, I miss your voice. But now she barely looked up from her phone. Now she turned her back to him in bed. Now even silence between them didn't feel peaceful. It felt like war. He thought he was imagining things, but deep inside he knew the love was fading. And worse, she wasn't trying to save it. Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman's heart starts turning toward another man, her behavior won't scream it, but her presence will whisper it. And those whispers, you'll hear them in the silence, in the absence of her laugh, in the way her hugs feel like empty rituals. Now pause and think, have you ever felt that? That slow, creeping disconnect where you're physically together but emotionally miles apart? If that's your story, you're not alone. Many men have walked that road confused, doubting themselves. But I'm here to tell you, trust that feeling. Because your heart isn't lying to you. And before you start blaming yourself, stop. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. In the next point, we'll dive into a behavior that often follows this emotional distancing when she starts hiding. her phone like it contains state secrets. So don't go anywhere. Your love life might depend on what you learn next. 2. Overprotection of the phone. Do you remember when her phone didn't matter? When she could leave it on the couch face up unlocked, forgotten for hours because her attention was on you? When she'd even toss it your way and say, "Can you order something for dinner?" Or find that photo I took last weekend. Back then, the phone was just a phone. Now it's become Fort Knox. She keeps it in her pocket at all times. Takes it with her, even to the bathroom. It's always face down. Locked. Notifications turned off. And if you glance at it for too long, her mood changes instantly. Sound familiar? That's exactly what happened to Marcus. Not Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher we've been quoting, but Marcus, a viewer who sent me his story. He said it started with something small, just a casual shift. His girlfriend Lara used to show him memes, funny texts from friends, even her group chat drama. But over time, that openness began to close like a vault door. She started getting nervous when he sat beside her while she texted. She'd tilt the screen away ever so slightly. She changed her phone password without saying a word. Marcus said the day he knew something was wrong was the night they were lying in bed watching a movie. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and her whole body tensed. Then she turned it face down and slid it under the pillow. He didn't say anything, but in that moment the silence said everything. You see, trust dies in inches, not miles, and nothing exposes the cracks faster than a woman who guards her phone like it holds the secrets to her soul. Marcus Aurelius said, "Never value anything as profitable to yourself, which shall compel you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, to hate any man. If her loyalty requires hiding, secrecy, and emotional lockdowns, then what you're calling a relationship is really a mask." Phones today are an extension of ourselves. They hold conversations, emotions, intimacy, every digital footprint. So when she suddenly guards it with her life, it's not about privacy. It's about protection, not of herself, but of a secret. Now here's where most men go wrong. They ask, "Why are you hiding your phone?" And she fires back, "Don't you trust me?" Let me tell you something very real. Genuine trust doesn't have to be defended. It shows itself in openness, in comfort, in the lack of secrecy. So if you're seeing this behavior, don't second guess your gut, and don't go through her phone in desperation, because the real issue isn't what's on the screen, it's what her behavior is screaming. She's emotionally checking out, and possibly already investing in someone else. Have you seen this shift? That moment when she went from open to locked down. Drop a comment and let me know, because trust me, you're not the only one. And if you think this is a red flag, wait until you hear what happens when she flips the blame and starts accusing you of cheating. It's called projection, and it's one of the biggest warning signs of all. 3. Accusing you of cheating. Has she ever looked you dead in the eye and said, "I don't trust you lately. You're hiding something. Are you cheating on me?" Now here's the twist. You're not. You've been loyal. You've done nothing shady. You still send her good morning texts, still show up when she needs you, still hold space for her pain and her dreams. But suddenly, she's suspicious, cold, watching you like you've betrayed her. That's what happened to Jay. Jay was a good man, quiet, consistent. He worked long hours to build a future with his girlfriend Priya, and everything seemed good until it didn't. It started with questions. Why are you always on your phone? Who's that girl who liked your Instagram post? You used to call me more. Who are you spending time with now? At first, Jay thought she was just feeling insecure, so he reassured her, again and again. But the questions didn't stop. They turned into accusations. She even started checking his phone when he was in the shower. Then one day, Priya snapped and shouted, "I know you're cheating on me. Just admit it." Jay stood there stunned. But do you want to know the cruel irony? It was her. She was the one cheating, and her guilt, it had become a mirror. She saw herself and projected it onto Jay. Marcus Aurelius said something timeless. The soul is dyed by the thoughts. We become what we contemplate. When someone is consumed with guilt, shame, or hidden disloyalty, they can't live with it silently. They start to see shadows where there are none. They turn their guilt into your punishment. Psychologists call it projection. When a woman cheats, especially emotionally or physically, she's no longer centered. She can't look you in the eyes for long. So what does she do? She flips the blame. She tries to convince herself that you're unfaithful, so she can feel less guilty for what she did. And this is where many good men fall into a trap. They start questioning themselves. Am I too distant? Did I forget to compliment her? Maybe I've made her feel unloved. Stop right there. Yes, self-reflection is noble, but don't confuse being thoughtful with becoming a doormat. When a woman starts attacking your character without evidence, especially when you've been consistent, it's often a redirection of her own guilt. Jay later found out Priya had been talking to a coworker for months. Late-night calls, secret meetups, and the whole time she was accusing him. Sound familiar? This isn't just a relationship issue. It's psychological warfare, and you need to protect your mind. Don't argue. Don't beg to be trusted. Observe. Because when accusations appear from nowhere, they usually have a source, and it's not you. Have you ever experienced this? A partner who turns your loyalty into suspicion? Tell me in the comments. You're not alone, and this next sign will chill your spine. She stops being jealous, and that might sound like a relief, but trust me, it's not. 4. Loss of intimacy. Do you remember the first time you touched her hand? That electric spark? The way she leaned into your touch like her body trusted yours completely? How your fingers would interlock automatically like puzzle pieces meant to fit? That's intimacy, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual. It's the glue that holds two souls together when words fall short. Now think, when did that start to fade? For Adam, the decline came so gradually, he almost didn't notice until it was undeniable. Adam had been with his girlfriend Nia for nearly 3 years. They'd been through a lot together, ups and downs, bills and birthdays, laughter and late-night fights. But through it all, their connection had felt real, honest, deep, until it didn't. One night, Adam leaned in to kiss her like he always had. She turned her face away. At first, he thought she was just tired, but then it kept happening. Her hugs became shorter. The cuddles stopped. She no longer reached for his hand when they walked together. And intimacy, the kind you share when the lights go out, that vanished. At first, he blamed himself. Am I not attractive anymore? Did I say something wrong? Am I not doing enough? But the truth wasn't about what Adam was doing. It was about what Nia was feeling, or rather not feeling anymore. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be content to seem what you really are." And here's what that means in love. You can't fake desire. You can't fake affection. And when a woman's heart begins to drift, her body follows. The tragic thing is, Adam still loved her. He remembered the nights they couldn't keep their hands off each other. The way she used to whisper, "I want you," just by looking into his eyes. Now, he was lucky if she didn't flinch when he touched her shoulder. That's what loss of intimacy looks like. It's not just less sex, it's less soul. It's the emotional disconnect that happens when she starts bonding with someone else, mentally, emotionally, or physically. And you'll feel it. You'll feel like a stranger sleeping beside you. You'll feel the awkwardness and silence. You'll feel the cold shoulder where there used to be warm skin. It's easy to pretend nothing's wrong, to say she's just stressed or she's tired. But deep down, you know, when intimacy dies, it doesn't whisper, it echoes. It echoes through lonely nights, unanswered kisses, and a bed that somehow feels 10 miles wide. So ask yourself, when was the last time she kissed you like she meant it? Not out of habit, not out of guilt, but because she wanted to? That answer may reveal more than you're ready to admit. But here's why you must admit it. Because the next sign is even more painful, when she suddenly has new friends you've never met. 5. New appearance obsession. Have you ever watched the woman you love suddenly start changing? Not gradually. Not in a new year, new me kind of way, but overnight. She starts hitting the gym out of nowhere, buying new clothes, ones she never wore before, wearing perfume to run errands, doing her makeup just to go meet the girls. And you find yourself wondering, who is she trying to impress? That's what happened to Carlos. Carlos had been with his girlfriend Alina for 5 years. They were comfortable, maybe too comfortable. They had their routines, Sunday brunch, Netflix binges, matching pajamas. She used to wear baggy shirts and no makeup around him, and he loved that because it was real. It was her. But something shifted. Suddenly, Alina started caring too much. She began spending hours getting ready for things that never used to matter. She started posting more selfies online, carefully angled, perfectly filtered, and almost always without Carlos in the frame. Carlos noticed. He asked, "You going somewhere?" She smiled and said, "Just need to feel good about myself." He wanted to believe that, but deep down he felt a knot in his stomach. You know that feeling? That quiet dread when the woman you love starts transforming into someone you don't recognize. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking." But when a woman's thinking shifts, when her focus starts turning outward for validation, something inside has changed. You see, Alina had started talking to someone new at work. It was harmless at first, lunches, laughs, nothing physical. But emotionally, she was already slipping away. And the makeover wasn't about feeling good for herself, it was about feeling seen by someone else. Men often miss this sign. We think maybe she just wants to look good again. And maybe she does. But when she starts ignoring your compliments while chasing new eyes, when she gets defensive if you ask about her new style, when she's dressing up to go out but dressing down to stay with you, that's not confidence. That's a signal. A sign that her attention and maybe her loyalty is drifting elsewhere. Now don't get me wrong. A woman has every right to love herself, to glow up, to evolve. But when that glow up starts glowing for everyone except you, when her lipstick returns but her lips haven't touched yours in weeks, when her perfume fills the car but the romance is gone, you have to ask yourself the hard question. Is she becoming someone new for herself? Or for someone else? Carlos found out the truth when he saw the name Daniel pop up with a heart emoji. That's when it all made sense. Have you seen this shift? The sudden gym obsession? The lingerie you never see? The selfies that never include you? If you're nodding quietly right now, you already know. But stay with me, because in the next point we'll talk about one of the most chilling signs, when her schedule gets busy, but only when it's with you. 6. Frequent fighting over nothing. When did your relationship stop feeling peaceful? When did it go from inside jokes and slow Sunday mornings to arguments over laundry, glances, or the way you breathe? You know what I'm talking about. Suddenly, the smallest things spark a wildfire. You didn't text back fast enough. You forgot to buy oat milk. You liked someone's photo on Instagram without even thinking. And now she's slamming doors, rolling her eyes, picking fights out of thin air. You're standing there confused, thinking, where is this even coming from? Let me tell you a story about Ryan. Ryan had been dating Sophia for almost 2 years. They'd had rough patches like any couple, but nothing like this. Lately, it felt like every day was a battlefield. She'd argue over how he folded towels, or how he parked the car 2 inches too far from the curb. One night she exploded just because he asked her if she was okay. And then came the worst part. When he tried to talk things out to stay calm, she'd say, "You're always trying to make me feel like I'm crazy." But Ryan wasn't trying to gaslight her. He was trying to understand her. Because this wasn't her. Not the woman he fell in love with. Not the girl who once cried from laughing too hard in the kitchen at midnight. So what changed? Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Ryan didn't realize it yet, but Sophia wasn't angry at him. She was angry at her own guilt. See, when someone is hiding something like emotional betrayal or worse, cheating, they start building internal tension. They carry a secret like a hot coal inside them, and eventually they need to release that heat somewhere, so they pick fights.
Create chaos.
Start arguments over nothing. Why? Because deep down they're uncomfortable around your peace. Your calmness is a mirror. It reflects the truth they're running from. And if they can provoke you into reacting, then you become the problem. You become the villain. It's no longer about what they're hiding. It's about how you make them feel. That's what Sophia did to Ryan. Until one day, he caught her messaging an old flame. The connection had been growing for months. The fights? They were her emotional escape. Root, her way of shifting guilt into anger, so she didn't have to face herself. Have you been there? In a love that used to be soft, but now feels like you're walking on broken glass? When the woman who once adored you now treats you like an inconvenience? That's not love. That's resentment fueled by dishonesty. And here's the truth. People who are happy in a relationship don't look for reasons to destroy it. They don't invent battles to avoid the war inside themselves. So if every conversation turns into a fight, if her love feels like a loaded weapon aimed at your chest, it's time to ask, what is she really hiding? Stay with me. 7. Strange guilt gifts. When was the last time she gave you a gift? And it felt off? Not the kind of gift that comes from a celebration, like your birthday or an anniversary, but a random gift, unexpected, out of nowhere. You open the box and inside is something expensive, maybe new headphones, A cologne you never even mentioned, or a shirt she said you'd look hot in, and she's smiling. But her eyes are searching your face almost nervously. This happened to Malik. He'd been dating Jasmine for just over a year. Things were smooth at first. Laughter, road trips, deep talks at 2 a.m. But slowly things changed. She started becoming distant, distracted. Her phone was always upside down. She stopped being affectionate, and every conversation felt like he was trying to reach someone standing behind a glass wall. Then one evening, Jasmine showed up at his apartment with a brand new designer jacket. No reason, no special occasion. Just said, "You deserve it. I've been thinking about you a lot lately." At first, Malik was touched. It felt good to be thought of. But that night, something didn't sit right, because the gift didn't match the energy between them. She was distant for weeks, barely present, cold, then boom, a lavish gift and forced affection. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." And if you read between the lines, that means this: real love doesn't try to mask wounds with shiny things. When someone wrongs you, especially in a relationship, they either come forward with truth, or they try to cover it with compensation. And gifts, my friend, can sometimes be guilt in disguise. It's a subconscious way for a woman to quiet her own conscience. She can't say, "I'm sorry I emotionally cheated." So she says, "Here's that cologne you liked." She can't admit, "I'm talking to someone else behind your back." So she says, "You've been working so hard, I just wanted to treat you." It's a trap of emotional confusion, because now you feel guilty for doubting her. You think, how could someone doing something wrong be this thoughtful? She's trying. Maybe I'm just paranoid. No, you're not paranoid. You're perceptive. There's a difference. Real love builds trust over time, but guilt gifts try to buy forgiveness before the truth ever sees the light. And the danger? You start accepting gifts and ignoring the red flags. You trade your instincts for temporary warmth. Malik found out a month later. Jasmine had been seeing someone else. And that designer jacket? It was bought the same day she spent the night at the other man's place. The gift wasn't love. It was silence money. So ask yourself, have you received something lately that felt more like a transaction than affection? If the gift felt disconnected from her behavior, you might not be crazy. You might be catching her guilt before she admits it. Stick around, because the next point will hit you in the gut. She's no longer interested in your life, your goals, your stories, your struggles. And when a woman stops caring about you, you're already gone in her heart. 8. Unreachable for hours. When did her silence start to feel louder than her words? Do you remember when she used to blow up your phone? Every little thing she did, she shared it with you. Just had coffee thinking of you. Look at this dog I saw. You won't believe what happened at work today. You felt like you were part of her day because you were. But now hours go by and your phone stays dry. You send a message. Hey, everything okay? And you wait 1 hour, 3 hours, 5. And then the reply finally comes. Sorry, I was busy. Or worse, no reply at all. That's exactly what happened to Eli. Eli was in love. Deeply. He thought he had found the one. His girlfriend Zara used to light up his world. They would talk all day, funny texts, updates, love notes. But slowly that frequency changed. At first it was subtle. She used to respond in seconds. Then it became minutes, then hours. She'd leave him on red without a word. And when he'd bring it up, she'd say, "You're being too needy. I just need space sometimes." Eli tried to understand. He told himself, "She's probably overwhelmed with work. She just needs time to recharge. She's not like before, but it's okay." But it wasn't okay, because when you love someone, silence isn't just silence. It's absence. And when someone who used to run to you starts running from you, it means something. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. And when her thoughts start drifting towards someone else, her soul shifts too." Zara wasn't just busy. She had made herself unreachable, emotionally and physically. And here's the thing. People don't ignore who they love. They find time for what matters, even in chaos, even in stress. When a woman is in love with you, you're in her world, not waiting outside of it. So when she's suddenly unavailable for hours, it's not random. It's intentional distance. It might be because she doesn't want to explain where she is. She's with someone and doesn't want to be caught. She's slowly detaching and hopes you'll just get the hint. Eli found out the truth one night when she left her phone unlocked. Messages, plans, a guy she had met at a party, while she told Eli she was with her cousin. It was all there, and suddenly those long silences made perfect sense. They weren't filled with busyness. They were filled with betrayal. So ask yourself, has she become too busy? Only when it comes to you? Does she suddenly need space at the exact moments you need closeness? If so, your intuition isn't lying. You're not crazy. You're not insecure. You're connected to the truth because it hurts. But stay with me, because the next sign is one of the most painful. When she no longer supports your dreams, and when a woman stops believing in you, it's because she's started believing in a life that doesn't include you. 9. Defensiveness over innocent questions. When did your questions start feeling like crimes? Do you remember when you could ask her anything? Where she was going, who she was with, how her day was, and she'd smile, lean in, and give you the full story, because back then she had nothing to hide. But now you ask something as harmless as, "Who were you texting?" And suddenly the energy shifts. Her eyes narrow. Her tone hardens. She says something like, "Why do you always have to check on me? Do you not trust me?" You're acting controlling. And in a flash, you become the villain for simply asking a question. This is exactly what happened to Darius. Darius and Mia had been dating for 3 years. They were a team, a unit. And Darius was never the jealous type, never needed to snoop. "Why does it matter?" she barked. "Can I have some privacy?" "You're being paranoid." Darius sat there stunned. He felt like he had walked into a storm without knowing it was raining. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, for I seek the truth." But when someone fears the truth, they attack the question before they ever answer it. You see, when someone is innocent, they explain. But when they're hiding something, they deflect, accuse, or explode. Defensiveness is often not about the question. It's about the fear that the answer might expose too much. Mia had been talking to a coworker behind Darius's back. It started small, harmless banter, jokes, but it grew into something more. And every time Darius got close to the truth, every time his instinct led him to ask something simple, she would lash out. Why? Because defensiveness is the shield of the guilty. It's a strategy. If she can make you feel bad for asking, then you'll stop asking. And if you stop asking, she can continue doing whatever she's doing, uninterrupted. It's emotional manipulation dressed up as boundaries. And the worst part? You start second-guessing yourself. You wonder, am I insecure? Am I becoming toxic? Should I just stop asking? No, because love welcomes honesty. And when questions are met with rage, it's not because you're wrong. It's because you're getting close to the truth. So ask yourself, have your innocent questions suddenly become interrogation sessions? Does she explode over things that never used to bother her? Then you're not the problem. You're just the mirror she can't look into anymore. Stay with me, because the final sign is the coldest of all. She no longer includes you in her future. And when a woman stops seeing you in her tomorrow, she's already emotionally gone today. 10. Intuition screams louder than evidence.
Have you ever had a feeling?
That quiet, unsettling whisper deep inside, something your mind tries to ignore. But your heart just knows. Maybe you brushed it off at first. Thought, I'm just overthinking. Or, she loves me. I'm just being paranoid. That's what happened to Jason. Jason was head over heels for Melissa. They had dreams, plans, memories, late-night talks about forever. Everything seemed perfect. But slowly that gut feeling started creeping in. He'd catch her eyes flicker away when he walked into a room. She'd hide her phone just a little too quickly. And there was a subtle distance, like a door closing in silence. Jason told himself, I'm just stressed. This is nothing. But that little voice in his chest kept screaming louder every day. You see, Marcus Aurelius believed in the power of reason and self-awareness. But he also understood something deeper. Sometimes your instincts know more than your logic will admit. Your mind tries to piece together explanations. Maybe she's just tired. Maybe she's having a bad day. But your intuition? It's like a compass pointing straight to the truth. Jason tried to argue with it. He ignored the warning signs. He buried the gut feelings beneath hope and love. Until one night he found a message on her phone. It wasn't just a text, it was a confirmation. His intuition was right all along. Here's the thing about intuition. It's not random. It's built on all the tiny clues. Your conscious mind misses the micro-expressions, the hesitations, the sudden changes in behavior. When your intuition screams louder than any evidence you can hold in your hand, it's telling you the truth you're afraid to face. Have you ever felt that? That silent alarm going off inside you, warning you even when nothing's obvious? When your heart aches for answers but your mind wants to believe the best. It's a painful place to be. But ignoring it, that only makes the pain deeper, because eventually the truth comes out. And here's what you must remember. Trust yourself, Marcus Aurelius said. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your intuition is that impediment, the barrier you don't want to face, but also the path you must take to protect your heart. If your gut feels heavy, if your instincts tell you she's hiding something, don't silence it. Look closer, listen harder, because sometimes the truth is less about what you see and more about what you feel. So if you've been wrestling with that feeling, if you've been asking yourself, am I crazy or is something wrong? Know this, you're not crazy, you're awake. And that awareness? It's your greatest weapon in a world full of hidden truths. When Aiden finally confronted Jasmine, she broke down. Yes, she'd been cheating for months. Yes, she felt guilty. But no, she hadn't planned on telling him. Why? Because she didn't want to lose the comfort, the security, the fallback, and that was the final betrayal. She never truly loved him. She loved the way he made her life easier. But Aiden walked away with his head high, because he had finally seen the signs. And more importantly, he had finally believed himself. You can too. Gentlemen, truth is painful, but it is liberating. If you've seen these signs in your relationship, don't deny it. Don't wait for concrete proof. Women can lie with words, but they can't lie with behavior. The psychology never hides for long. Marcus Aurelius taught us to be still in the storm, to observe, not react, to lead with truth, not emotion. So if you sense betrayal, don't explode. Don't beg. Stand still. See clearly, and act with calm power. If this video resonated with you, make sure to like it, subscribe, and share it with a brother who needs to wake up. Because loyalty deserves loyalty, and men who protect their hearts win in the long run. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.